Hi guys, today I'm back with another foundation review. Today it is all about the Benefit Hello Happy Flawless Brightening Foundation. I will be getting to as many of the new foundations as possible. I do actually like to review a foundation, so I do need to wear it for a little while, which takes some time, which was why there's sometimes delays with my reviews. I just feel like it's more valuable that way instead of me just hopping it on, testing it out one day. This way I can really give you my full thoughts. So it does take me a little longer to get to reviewing foundation, so please bear with me. Today we are chatting about the Benefit foundation. I also have the powder foundation counterpart to this, along with the concealer and their new highlighter, so I'll be putting that all on my face today with a wear test. As always, there will be timestamps down below if you'd like to skip ahead to before and after flash photo. In addition to that, I am quite under the weather, so if my voice sounds a little bit weird, I'm struggling to speak right now, but the show must go on, so if you're noticing anything a little different with my voice, that is why. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So this foundation launched pretty recently. I did review the Hello Happy foundation, their soft blur foundation last year, so I'll link to that down below if you'd like to see that, and then that way you can kind of see how it compares. I haven't actually worn that foundation in a little while, so I can't tell you directly how it compares, but you'll be able to check out that review if you want to see that one in action as well. This retails for $30 American and $40 Canadian, so happy to see not a gigantic jump in price there between the two currencies. You're getting a full fluid ounce, which is the average size of a foundation, and it comes with a pump, which I appreciate. The packaging is cute. It's like I said about the last one, and kind of to be expected from Benefit, but it's cute, but not too far. Like, it doesn't look like it's made for children, in my opinion. It's like riding that fine line. One of the kind of downfalls with this foundation is you're only getting 12 shades, and it's kind of a case of like, if you're in math class and you're getting like 35s on your math exam and then you finally get a 55 but the class average is 80, you know what I mean? So it's like you did better but you're still not doing that great, you know? Because it's like great for Benefit for finally releasing shades that aren't beige, nude beige, a little bit more beige, kind of beige. But at the same time, there's still a lot of gaps, and because this isn't like a tinted moisturizer product, you don't have as much flexibility in between shades, in my opinion. So in the soft blur foundation, I was wearing shade 7, and that did work for me at the time. It was a little bit too yellow, but it did work. But I definitely have gained more color over the past year. Like, I've done a lot more beaching and really kind of held on to that color. So I'm a little bit deeper. So now, unfortunately, I'm in between shades. And it's not like this is definitely too dark and this is definitely too light. And because it is a medium coverage product, you do need to have a good match. You can't as easily get away, if it's something really sheer, you can't as easily get away with a bad shade match. So not super helpful to those of you that are trying to use me to match, because I don't, in general, I wouldn't recommend having to go out and purchase 2 foundations to make your shade unless it's like an absolutely perfect match. But 7 did work for me, so if you're on the lighter shade of NC42, that could be helpful for you. If you're leaning a little bit darker, then perhaps 8. But if you're picking it up at Shoppers or Sephora, you can always get a sample, test it out for yourself before you decide to buy. Today I am going to mix the 2 shades together just so you can see it in action, because I don't want to walk around with a too light or too dark face. Not that I'm necessarily leaving my house today. I feel like garbage, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and start applying this. I'll do a pump of each and see where we end up. Oh, you know what? I should show you swatches. I'll do that. That'll be helpful. I did show this in a Get Ready With Me, but I'll show it again just so you can see the jump in shades. So you have 8 right here, which is definitely more like peachy golden, and then 7 right here, which is a little more yellowy. So the undertone of this I like, but you can see that there's a huge difference between these 2 shades. So I'm going to mix them. And when I mix, I definitely get a good shade match. I feel like the undertone is good. And I'm going to be using this Real Techniques sponge with it. I've used a brush and I've used a sponge. I like them both. As always, if you use a denser brush, you'll get more coverage. This claims to have medium coverage, while the soft blur that they had claimed to have light to medium coverage. So this one says it has a little bit more coverage, and it kind of talks more about being brightening, having hyaluronic acid in there, while the soft blur was more about blurring. But I feel like, in terms of the claims anyways, they're not like, I feel like they should have come out with something really light coverage and really full coverage. They don't seem like super different to me, in my opinion, or I would have rather just see a shade extension on the original soft blur, in my opinion. but here we are anyways. And I'm not going to build it up a ton anyways. I'm definitely not like a full coverage kind of person anymore. I'm definitely more liking light coverage stuff, and I'm also not feeling well, so I don't want to feel like there's anything heavy on my skin. Not that this foundation feels heavy by any means, but I definitely really like the way it looks. I think it looks really beautiful, but again, we had to mix 2 shades to get there, so that's always a bit of a bummer. And it definitely, when you pump it out on your skin, it feels kind of thick. I'm going to do another pump of each. Like, it almost looks like it has the texture of something that's going to be quite full coverage, but when you blend it out, it's quite light and doesn't feel heavy on the skin. So if you kind of go into a store and you initially pump it on your hand and you're like, ooh, that looks heavy, I don't feel like it translates onto the skin. So I'm just going to blend out this side. And they did launch a sponge as well. I think I used that in a Get Ready With Me when I used this foundation for the first time, and I didn't love it. I like my Real Techniques one better. It was just slightly too dense. It's not bad, but Real Techniques is better and cheaper, so I would stick with that one for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take my photos before I put on my concealers. I always forget when I'm doing my review this way. And I'm going to also do a little close-up so you can see it a little bit closer in action. And then I'll come back and we will apply the concealer, the highlighter, and the powder. For the concealer, I'm going to be using the new Boing Cakeless concealer. I've always enjoyed Benefit's concealers, but again, they always came in like three shades. So this is again an improvement, but still has room to go. I'm going to be wearing shade 8, so they're definitely a lighter concealer. It's definitely meant to be like a highlighting concealer, because if like this is lighter, like I'm wearing shade 8 on my face as well. And this is obviously lighter. So it's meant to be a brightening concealer, but at the same time, there's only 4 shades above this. I believe there's 12 shades in this, similar, same as the foundation. So again, room to grow for sure, but 7 could work too. Just depends how bright you like your concealer. This is a little less bright than I normally go for, but it's a good undertone. It's pretty neutral. So I've given it a little time to set, and the first thing I like to do is pat out concealer with my fingers, and then I will go in with a brush to kind of meld it all together. Oh my god. I haven't been talking a lot because I've been sick, and I'm really trying to be normal. I think I'm being normal, I don't know. But trying to pat it out with my fingers first, and then I'm going to blend it all together with a brush. And the concealer, I feel like, is a little bit deceiving. I don't know, it just, swatch it, I would say, or like look up reviews and stuff when you're trying to figure out your shade. That's how I always figure out my shades and things. But it just looks, it looks like it's glass. I mean, it is. It's showing you the color that it is on the inside, but I feel like the outside of the package makes it look like it's lighter than what it is on the inside somehow. But yeah, definitely giving me really good coverage. This I haven't tried. I've tried the foundation and powder and highlight, but I have not tried the concealer. This is my first time trying it. Just a heads up on that, because I just came back from being out of town and came home to a package from Benefit, and I had been trying out the foundation before I left, but the concealer showed up while I was gone, but I figured we might as well test it out together. So I've gone ahead and set my under eyes. I think it looks really good. I wouldn't say it's like the fullest of the full. Whenever I'm comparing foundations to see if they are full, I compare it to my Too Faced Born This Way, my Tarte Shape Tape. Those are kind of like the gold standard when it comes to like high coverage for me. I still think it looks really good, but I just wouldn't say it's as full coverage as them, but it's definitely getting up there. So now I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Hello Happy Velvet Powder Foundation. I'm using this in the shade 8. I feel like it's a good match. I feel like it's a little bit, a smidge lighter than the 8 of the foundation, the liquid. And I haven't actually worn this as a full-on powder foundation, so I can't really comment on that, but it claims to be on the mattifying side, but not flat. Longish wearing and medium coverage, but I have been using it to set like this foundation and other foundations, and I have really liked it as a setter. I've really enjoyed wearing lighter coverage foundations with a powder foundation to set. I've been doing that a lot with the Too Faced one too, so I have been enjoying this powder as a setting powder. You are only, however, getting 7 grams of product in there, which is not a ton when it comes to powders, and I find the packaging to be unnecessarily bulky. If you're going to give me less powder than normal, I feel like this is a bit negative. I'm not trying to be negative, it's just like I'm just stating the facts, you know, but it's a little bit less powder than I would prefer, and then I would say it's probably average, and the packaging is just too big. Like it comes with, what does it even come with? I didn't even look. Yeah, like it comes with these. I guess that brush is okay, but like I'm not going to use those in all honesty. Somebody might, but for me it's like, I don't know, it's a waste. So I think you can see that powder set my face, but there's still definitely some life and some shine on my face, but not like shiny. It just has some life still left in it. It's not like a totally matte foundation. So let me apply blush. I'm gonna wear the shade, I think this is a Makeup Geek blush, is it? Yeah, in Infatuation. I don't even know if it exists anymore, but just want to put this on, and then I'll put on the highlighter. So they came out 2 boxed highlighters. I'm not sure if they're the same as the ones that came out in the Cheek Leader palettes, because those are really nice highlighters. These highlighters, again, are a little deceptive in terms of color if you don't see them in person. If you just see them on their website, I feel like this one looks like it's going to be more cool toned, and the other one looks like it's going to be more gold. The other shade is Cookie, which is definitely more of like a light champagne gold. So if you have a lighter skin tone, I think that's going to be really beautiful on you. If you're a little bit deeper, a little bit more warm, I would go with Tickle. But that being said, I still feel like there could be another shade in there that's a little more deep. But let's see. It's like, it's really pretty, like really beautiful and glowy, and not sparkly or anything like that. And again, it comes in the box, which is like super cute, and I don't mind it, but I wouldn't, like, if I'm like, what's my dream packaging, the boxes wouldn't be it, but like it's their thing. So, you know, gotta stand out somehow, and it's still like easy enough to store, you know, it's not too gimmicky. So I think it's a really beautiful highlighter. I really do like this, and I'm glad they finally come out with some more singles. Really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, which will essentially be gloss, brow gel, and mascara, and I will be right back. So I have the rest of my makeup on now, and I think things look really, really good together. I especially love the way that this highlight looks. I think it just has this beautiful peachy, pinky glow, which is just super, super pretty. The foundation itself has quite a bit of sheen to it, I'll say, even when powdered, so that's something to keep in mind if you are oily. Some people like to have that like glowy, oily look. Other people just like want to stay matte and feel like things are secure on your face. So you're not going to get that super matte look right off the bat. It does claim to be a more natural finish foundation, and I think it definitely is natural to slightly luminous, as they say. I mean, I only have highlighter on the high points of my cheeks. I put a little right here, a little on the tip of my nose, but if you look like at my forehead, there's quite a bit of sheen here, kind of all over my face, really. And I'm kind of in a more combo place right now, depending on how hot it is outside. Definitely have a sweaty face, but yeah, I think things look really good in the photos. You'll see the sheen that I mentioned on my face definitely when I take it here in my studio lights, and then when I take my flash photo, though, I think it looks really good. You'll see it doesn't look too golden for my skin. It doesn't end up kind of washing me out. There's no flash back there, which is always nice to see if you are someone who takes flash photos. I mean, I do this test in my videos, but it's very rare that I'm out at night taking photos, quite honestly. But I think that it looks really, really good. So excuse me, I will check back with you in a couple hours in some natural light to show you how it's held up. Wow, struggling today. I'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, coming to you with my midday check-in. I am here in front of a window. I've got my camera turned down so you can see how it looks pretty accurately, I feel like. I definitely think it has oxidized a little bit. It's a little bit darker. Nothing crazy, but I think you can see it's a little bit warmer than it was when I put on my face, so maybe I should have put in a little more shade 7 and then shade 8. I lost a little bit here around my nose where I was wearing sunglasses. I was just out, but I've had this on since about 8:30 or 9, I'd say 8:30 this morning, and it's now 3 p.m. Definitely doing a little bit of a later check-in than I had intended. It's also starting to feel a little bit heavier on my face and look a little bit more greasy than glowy when I had initially applied it, but I will wear it for a few more hours and check back with you at the end of the day. So it's been 12 hours. I didn't mean to wear this foundation for 12 hours, but always good to have extra information for you. Do you ever, like, when your house gets really messy and there's just like things everywhere and you just kind of freak out and go on a big cleaning spree? That's what I've been doing. I just got back from being out of town and da da da. Anyways, you don't need to hear the whole story, but I've been cleaning like a mad woman. I'm gonna blot a little bit. This isn't dirty, it's just stained from lip swatches. It's actually fresh out of the laundry. I did so many loads of laundry today. Definitely looking kind of shiny. I'm going to take my powder brush with no extra powder on it, just to get rid of the shininess on my face. Show you what it looks like after a little touch up. I don't know if I'm just kind of like in a mood because I'm sick, but I'm just kind of unimpressed with this foundation. I lost a little bit around my nose, which is fine. That happens with the majority of foundations when I don't really do any kind of precautions to stop it from doing that. Normally I put a little extra powder, maybe put some powder underneath. It did oxidize a little bit. Again, I don't totally dock points for that. Sometimes things will oxidize on me that don't on you, or they'll oxidize on you that don't on me. But it's just okay. And the fact that I have to mix 2 shades together, like, that was me 6 years ago. Now I'm not in a place where I need to mix 6 shades together. Generally, I'm like, these 2 or 3 shades could work for me, you know? So to me, it's just not acceptable to have so few shades when it's a higher coverage product. If it was just a tinted moisturizer or something like that, I think it's a little bit easier to get away with because you don't need as good of a shade match. But the fact that I needed to mix 2 shades together, like, no questions, where my kind of skin tone is right now is kind of annoying. So it's hard for me to say, you know, go out and buy 2 shades when there's tons of other foundations that I like that I can recommend to you that you only need to buy 1 shade of. If you can find your shade in this foundation, it's definitely not a bad foundation by any means. It's nice, but I don't know. It's just okay. You know, there's nothing great about it. Like I said, I'm in kind of a combo place right now with my skin, so I think if you have a really oily skin type, this will be a little bit too much for you. It is what it is. I was definitely more jazzed about the other foundation that they launched, and that could be because I just like had a good shade and it was exciting to see them launching just having 12 shades in general, even though it's still not enough. But just the fact that they did another foundation launch with 12 shades in it, just kind of like meh. But like, I have no ill will against Benefit. The 24-hour brow setter I love. I'm excited that they finally launched the Hulas. And some brands just don't ever plan to do it, and it's up to you to decide if you want to support them or not. But I'm definitely happy to chat about it here myself, and that way you can make an informed decision whether or not you want to pick it up for yourself. So that is it. By the way, these are from The Body Shop if you're curious. So that is everything from me. Let me know if you are interested in this foundation at all and what foundation you would like me to review next. There are so many out, I just cannot keep up. So yeah, let me know what you'd like me to review next. I have the Pat McGrath one on the way, and I definitely want to review the Too Faced powder as well, but let me know what else you would like to see. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!